Hey guys, um, this is the week 4 video, and I'm going to do just one video this week because I've shortened the amount of work. We divided our packet into 2 weeks, so I don't have much to go over this week. I'll go over the middle part, the second reading of characters in place, and then the independent part. I'll go over some things in the text that you need to know, but that are going to be a little different than what you've seen so far. But you'll do that work on your own. Next week, there will be no more reading packets. I have something different planned. So, this is the last week of packets. Um, you can do your packet either by picking up a paper packet at the school. We can no longer drop them off at the bus, but you can have someone in your family go through the lunch pickup from 10 to 1 on Monday and Wednesday and pick up the packet. Or you can literally view all of the PDFs of the whole packet, and they're listed by the day, and they go in page order number starting with page 110. You'll notice there's not a page 112. There isn't one because it was in last week's packet. But you can view each PDF on the Google Classroom, and then you can type your answers into the Google Doc that I'll upload for week 4, or you can write your answers down on a piece of notebook paper, take a photo, and upload that onto the Google Doc. Next week, we will no longer be doing a packet. So I know you're excited about that. You should be, because it's going to be some fun stuff for next week. I'm shifting focus, and you're going to see from now till the last of school. I'm going to give you some fun choices for assignments. Think explorations. That's kind of where we'll go with this. And so that's good news. Also, I hope all of you that have signed up on Epic have been enjoying it. If you haven't signed up, if you haven't messaged me, either on ClassTag or in Google Classroom, or have your parents text me, I can sign you up so that you have full access to Epic, not just during school hours, but even at night or in the mornings, before and after school, and on the weekends. Full access until the end of June. And that's totally free. But I have to hook you to my account, so I have to have your parents' email address to do that. So if you'd like to have full access to Epic, I totally support Epic. I think it's a great site. And since we can't visit libraries, it's a great way to access new and lots of content, books and things. So I've got to have a parent permission, because I'm not going to sign anybody up without their parent requesting it or without you giving me an address. You can do it in the Google Classroom. If you'll go to the information, the general information on the front page, at the very top, it says general information. You'll see an Epic right there. If you'll type in your email address right there, I'll get you hooked right up. And the only thing you need to know is the password to our class, and it's in that post. If you'll go there and let me know that you'd like to be connected. A lot of you, as I've been speaking to you, I've been getting you connected, but there are about 10 or 12 of you that I still don't have connected. So if you're not connected and you want to be, you've got to let me know, and you got to get me an email address. I can't use your Google ID because it's not really an email address. I have to have a parent's email. All right, day 1, we're going to be looking at a Swiss folk tale called William Tell. William Tell is a famous archer, and now Caesar, of course, Caesar's going to bark now. Shh. He's a famous archer. An archer is someone that shoots a bow and arrow. And folk tales are stories that have been handed down through different cultures over long periods of time, and they become kind of famous characters or people that there can be many versions of the same story, or many versions of a story with William Tell in it. But William Tell, the folk tale and the folk character, the folk hero known as William Tell, is always the center of those stories. And they're passed down over long periods of time. William Tell is a Swiss folk tale, meaning it comes from the country in Europe known as Switzerland. This is a play, and you have characters. You have William, you have his son Albert, and then you have an officer. You're going to be asked to look at both of those characters, the character of William and the character of the officer. The first read, of course, is going to be to just read the play and enjoy it and understand it. And the second read will be to determine what kind of people are the officer and William. And you will underline evidence that tells you what kind of person, what's the motivation for William's character. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? And then you'll do the same for the officer. Look for clues to the kind of character that each of those people in this play have. The character traits that they hold will tell us a lot about whether they're going to be kind or whether they're going to be evil or those kind of things. So William Tell, you'll read that story. It's one page. There's a word in here that you may not know, and it's called traitor. Some of you will be familiar with the word. Some of you may not be, but it's in line 7 right here, line 7. And the clue that kind of gives you a clue and a context clue, it's above it in line 6 that kind of gives you an idea of what that word might mean. I'm not going to tell you what it means. Let's see if you can figure it out. I bet you can. And that's this page. That's page 110, day 1. And then page 111, day 1, you've got a question, and it asks you to choose which one of these descriptions best describes the officer character. There's a couple of words in there I was not sure some of you would know. I highlighted sly. Sly is a synonym for like being sneaky, mysterious, and usually probably not up to not like if someone is sly, they're trying to outdo somebody else, like they're being rather mysterious and sneaky. And then the other word I wanted to underline was heartless and cruel. Cruel means being hurtful, being harmful. Heartless means without a heart or a kind feeling in your heart for someone. So you're going to choose in those 4. You're going to pick which one you think best represents the officer. And then you're going to go down and you're going to find evidence in the passage. You've got to give me 3 examples. And you can put the sentence, if you'll notice in the play, and in all of them that we do, every time a character speaks, you've got a number beside their name. You can just write me the numbers of the sentences that give the evidence of the officer's character traits. And then you can say, number 6, here's the evidence. He said blah, blah, blah. He said this. Number 11, he said this. And you can give me the evidence down below it, but you can write the 3 sentences up here. Organize that any way you want, but you can use those numbers on the play. Just make sure you tell me why you chose them. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to discuss and you're going to work on the character traits down here in this part of William Tell, that character. And that will lead us to this page. And you're going to come up with the same evidences. And you're going to tell me that you thought William was, and an example I gave one here was he's kind. Because in one of the sentences, he tells his son that he is a good boy. And that's a kind thing to give praise to someone that you love, or even maybe someone that you don't know. But William shows me that he was kind, and here was the evidence. You can find other evidences here. You can use mine for the first one, and then you can come up with the rest. This is your pre-writing to writing me a little response to what you've read about the character traits of William Tell. And you can put your own thoughts in there. You can take the prompt and put it into the first sentence and then give your examples and text evidence of why you think what you think, why you chose what you chose. But you get to say the character traits. You get to name them. And remember, character traits are the motivations, the feelings, and the actions that talk about who a character is. Is he kind or is he unkind? Is he thoughtful or not thoughtful? Is he clever or not clever? Those are all character traits that our characters show us. And then you'll write your response. Again, if you don't pick up a packet, that's fine. You can do all of this on a piece of paper, take pictures of it, upload it to the Google Doc. You can also do all of this on a Google Doc. Just make sure you include the number. This is number 2. This is number 3, and write your answers out. Okay, so I'll be able to follow you. Either way, it's fine with me. All right, that's Monday or day 1. Now, the last section, day 2 and 3, you're going to be reading a story, another folk tale, and it's an English folk tale from England of Robin Hood. You've heard of Robin Hood. Robin Hood and the Mournful night. Mournful is a word that you might not know. Full means full of mourning. Mourning, not like morning and evening, not like the daytime morning. Mourning meaning sad, very if you're mourning something, you've lost something important to you, even a person that you love, or it's great sadness to be mournful. So the night is sad. He's a mournful knight. Robin Hood and the Mournful Knight, a folk tale from England. You have three words over here. You've got baffled, you have charity, and you have mournful. Well, I've just told you what mournful means. Now you can look for evidences of that in the passage. But you're going to be left to figure out baffled and charity within trying to find some context clues to get an idea of what those words mean. If you are lost and you can't figure it out, you can always get a dictionary. Go to dictionary.com and type them in and look them up. That works too. But try to figure them out first using your context clues. I wanted you to notice that you see how whenever a new character speaks, you get a new number on the side. This is the first time we've seen this. Do you see this word right here? And it says, when you look at your paper, you'll see the word is toil, Toil. Well, down here, it's got a little number over it. And then that little number means you need to look at the bottom of the page because they're going to tell you what that word means. That's the first time we've seen that, where you have sort of a clue here where you're going to go down and you're going to look below and it tells you what that word actually means. Okay. And that's the first time you've seen that. You have quite a long story to read. So I'm giving you 2 days to read through it. Obviously, here's another one with a meaning down here, because when we're reading folk tales, sometimes the language in them are going to be related to the country that they come from, and they recognize that you don't live in that country, so you may need a clue as to what some of the local words mean. And that's kind of what's going on here. That's what these words are words that are in the English, in the storytelling verbiage that you may not understand. And then you've got this page, and then you get to the part where they remind you that these are traits of some of the characters in the story. Read through this, and then you're going to do the same thing for Robin Hood here. And then you've got questions to answer. This is sort of the part that you do independently without my help. And then you have questions to answer. Again, every question has a number. So if you're doing it on a piece of paper, make sure you number them as you go. Part 3, part A, part B, so I can follow when you take pictures, or typing in your Google Doc. And then you're going to come on down and you're going to describe a character traits of the knight in scenes 1 and 2. How and why does he change? So that's what you're going to be writing about. The character trait of the knight, scene 1 and scene 2. And how and why does he change? How does he change? He goes from being sad to glad. And then how and why does that happen? And I don't know that happens. I'm just guessing. Scenes. Let's talk about scenes. Your scene clues are right here. Here's scene 1. And then you're going to look right here. Still in scene 1. And you don't get scene 2 until right here. So basically, scene 1 and scene 2 means the whole play. But I have a feeling that his mood or his character traits are going to change from scene 1 to scene 2 because of something that happens. All right. That's it, kiddos, for this week. You can take the 3 days. We're working only 3 days this week. We'll be available to help you on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursdays are days to catch up if you can't get the work done in an hour on those days, or take the days off. That's between you and your families. We hope you're getting a lot of good family time in. I really hope that, I know a lot of your parents work, but I do hope you're getting to spend some extra time with your family. If we have to not be together, I hope you are with them and get to enjoy some time there. I do miss you a lot. I don't like teaching this way, but it's the best we've got right now. Just know that next week, we will be shifting gears and we're going to change into something I think that you're going to really enjoy. This is our last packet. Okay. Goodbye. I will see you when I see you, and I miss you.